Yes, guys, welcome back to the Once You're In podcast Q&A episode today with myself and Reese. We'll try and keep it similar to this sort of structure moving forward. So like on a Monday when we film, it'll be me, Reese and Josh, and that'll be like a bit more of just like a catch up and a show reviews and that kind of thing. And then keep this as like a bit more of a Q&A episode. We'll put a questions box up. Did you put one up?
I literally put the last minute questions up. So I always quite like the last minute questions. I feel like, I don't know, it just makes people...
Gives people urgency.
Yeah, like, you know when you put a question box up, like the amount of times I'll get them afterwards. It's like, already filmed a podcast, bro. Like, come on, what's this about? You know, so yeah, gives people a bit more intent to like get the questions in. So yeah.
Yeah, I got a few. Have you got anything you need to update me on, mate, before we get into the questions? Or anything that's happened that's changed since Monday?
I don't think so. Trained 3 sessions on the trot. Again, I really need to start taking more rest days. I'm just a bit smashed. But trained Tammy yesterday, which was class. First time that me and Tammy were training. The same we're going to train for ages. But trained with Tammy, which was a good session. So for the people that don't know, Tamstagram on Instagram, she is like genetically the biggest female in the entire world, isn't she? Like frame-wise. Like she's got an absolute... Yeah, like she's got like a legit joke of a frame. Like she is like the widest person I know, and I'm not even joking. Like she's got Andrew Jack's frame as a female, which is hilarious. So yeah, that was a great session with Tammy. Other than that, simple sort of stuff. Yeah, literally life is good. What about yourself, then?
All good. Having a de-output day and a bit more food today, which is lovely and was quite needed. I felt it. Like, I had a new low this morning. But like the past few days, my body weight was trending up, and I just felt and looked a bit more watery. And I was like, okay, I just need to pull back.
I feel like, and please, again, this is not me digging. I feel like you've been 82 kilos now, like similar to Jordan Allen, 78 kilos. How long have you been 82 kilos for?
Well, I've been 82 kilos for... I'm still dropping on average, but I'm not complaining, mate. I'm looking leaner, like I am legit.
No. I'm not saying in a bad way. I'm not trying to be like, bro, what the fuck? I'm also thinking like, I feel like you've been 82 now for like the last...
So these are my averages. So this week's average is 81.6. Last week was 81.54. So that's what I mean by my weight trended up for the first time in ages.
Yeah.
Week before that was 82, so down 0.5. Week before that was 82.8, so down 0.8.
Okay. Yeah.
Week before that was 83.4 or 5, so down 0.7. Down 0.5 before that, down 0.7, down 0.4, down 1.26, down 0.6.
Yeah.
So I know what you mean. It's like that's why it's important to track daily. Like this is what I say to my clients when they're like, "Oh, I'm not losing weight. I'm not losing weight." And then I show them like the weekly and monthly trend. And I'm like, "You are. It's just you've been 82 kilos for what feels like 3-4 weeks, but you haven't. You are still dropping." And that's kind of
the worst is when you get down to like, let's say you hit an 82.9 3 weeks ago, and then it goes back up to 83.4 for the whole week or whatever. You know, and like you plus 83, and then you get to 82, and you're the low 82s, but you're like, I've been 82 now for the last like 2 to 3 weeks. It's like, well, you've not. You were 82 on a low day. Yeah, and then you've gone from there. So, yeah.
I was 80.9 this morning. I was 80.9 this morning, even though my average is still like 81.6.
Out of curiosity, again, I'm not trying to get in your head. What would you say you have left to pull off if you were to predict at this point? Would you say like 4, 5?
Yeah, I've got like 3 to 5 kilos to come off.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I'll definitely be. I'd like to say I'll be like 77, 78, and I thought I might be like 75. I think I'll be heavier than I thought I would be.
Yeah. I know obviously your weight was like 160. What's 160 in pounds? I don't know. Like I had no idea.
So the lowest I got down to was 71.
Oh, okay. So I meant what in kilos? Yeah. Okay. Hey. That's crazy because like I've got that goes to show how like over dieted you are. Because like Sam Bream last year, like you have so much more muscle than Sam Bream. Sam was peeled. Sam was 74 kilos, 75 kilos. Sam, you are like so much bigger than Sam. And like I
feel like last time I should have been like 75, 76. Yeah. And this time I'd like to think I'll be like 77, 78, which is a normal amount of progress. Not like I'm 11. Like I was 82 kilos yesterday morning when I weighed in fasted, which is like say like 11 kilos up.
Yeah.
Like I think 71.3 is the lowest I got down to, which is like 157 pounds.
Yeah.
Which is embarrassing.
Yeah.
I was saying this to Brandon G, and I had a few people message me like, "Oh mate, that's so impressive, 11 kilos." I was like, "It's not impressive.
Yeah.
Like I was just an idiot and over dieted myself. Like so, it sounds more impressive than it is, but realistically, I should be like 3 kilos up, like
Yeah.
1, 2 kilos up when it comes to stage weight." But yeah, I don't think I'll have to dip below like 76. That might be like an absolute low 76, 77, and then just fill back up, which is weird because I feel sound now, and I'm not that far off, but my lower body's still fat for stage condition. Like it is fat. I'm more than aware of that. I'm not in that point yet where I'm deluded. I'm like, oh, I'm not lean. Like I know I'm quite lean through most body parts, but I'm not stage condition lean.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's in a weird way. Like, I like natural bodybuilding because the scale, as much as it can sometimes like work against you, it's quite simple and it's like if I actually just do things properly, this kind of makes sense. Where like enhanced bodybuilding, it's like the scale does not matter. Like there's times where like last year in May I was 110 and I was 114 in October on stage, and I wasn't stage condition when I was 110. I wasn't miles off. I was probably in a similar spot to where you were now. Do you remember in the summer where like my upper body was pretty lean, but I had no leg detail because my legs were shit, and I was injured and stuff. And like I remember being like, oh, I'm like not a million miles off. I feel pretty good, but like if I was to be on stage, I'd need to be like 105, 106, and then like to be 6 months later on stage 4 kilos heavier. Like that, it's a challenging one, like mentally to look at that. Cause I'm like, that doesn't make sense. You know?
Yeah.
Like it's a weird one, but no, that's fair enough. I was also curious because again, I'd probably say like judging off, I've not obviously seen you pose, but like it looks like 3 to 5. I'd say probably would be a good estimate. You know?
Yeah. I think it depends on how well things continue to go. Like I think I'm probably not growing now, but I think in all honesty, I think I've grown throughout the most of this. Like I feel like I've been able to. My sleep's been really good. My training's been really good.
Yeah.
Like there's no real reason other than the deficit.
Is your dick still working?
Yeah, sound like I'm honestly fine. Like obviously, me and Megan are more tired, so like obviously we only see each other really on the weekends. We see each other like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and like without being too graphic, like in the past we'd have like been all over.
Got it on.
We've been all over each other. Whereas we're saying now, like we're both like a bit more focused on like let's just fucking get to sleep because we're tired. Like it's not that we're not like our sex drive isn't bad, but it's not as high as it was. But yeah, it still works when it needs to work.
You know the weird thing about females within like again, and obviously Meg's natural, but like enhanced females, like sex drive goes like through the fucking roof, like libido wise, which is hilarious because like you can be like absolutely battered, but because females aren't used to having any level of androgens, like the second the smallest thing goes in, it's like libido goes like stupidly high to the point that like doesn't make sense. Like because as a guy, even if you're assisted, you will be back like you could be on 1.5 grams of test, 2 grams of test. I'm sorry, if you're peeled, your dick is not working. You are not in a position to fucking like reproduce. But as a female, you can be on half a tab of Anavar a day and be like, yeah, man, let's go. Which just it doesn't really make sense.
I think like physiologically, the female body is still not in a position to grow a child when they're that lean. Like it's not a healthy position to be in. So like it's strange that is the case, but yeah, like all that kind of thing, absolutely fine. I feel really good within myself. Like I'm very in tune with my body now. I feel like before I would just keep pushing myself when like there's signs that I need to actually just pull back a touch. And in the past I've been like, oh, I'm being a pussy. Whereas now I'm like, no, I know I can fucking bury myself into the ground. Let's not do that. This isn't a question of whether I'm a pussy or not. I think everybody's aware, and I'm aware that I'm not, based on the fact that I've ran myself into the ground in the past. So yeah, it's more so being the other way and erring on the side of caution and like focusing on my training, and that's paying off so far. So yeah, I think I've probably grown for the most part, but I feel like I'm getting to a point now it's like I'm probably not growing now, but I'm just holding on to as much tissue as I can as I get the final bits off, which is going to be done like ideally in the next 8 to 12 weeks or so.
Is the green pen retired then? So no progression?
No, green pens, mate, the green pen's all over it. All over the logbook.
Mate, didn't even know that. I thought at this point we're fighting. What was AJ Morris's quote in like 2023? At this point, guys, we're fighting for maintenance. We're fighting for preservance of tissue or something. You know, it's not about progressing the logbook. I remember AJ just doing a video like that, and I was like, womp womp. That's sad.
It does get to that point though. I'm not at that point yet.
No, it definitely does. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, everything's going really well. Just sort of. I actually had a call with AJ earlier about the MBW show, sponsoring that again. So, I mean, spoiler alert, guys, we're going to sponsor it again. Make sure you like the post when it comes out. I'm also gonna we're not obviously the sponsorship for Natural Physique. We're also going to kind of include the gym, so I'm going to be giving away like 3 day passes and stuff, mate, for like class winners and that, which will be cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Fair enough.
Right, let's get into some questions then.
Oh yeah, cool.
So,
I mean, I've got 5 questions. Oh yeah.
Go on then, you go first. I've got a fair few.
Right, so first one, mate, we're going to get in an argument, and hopefully we both see sense it. Who has the better trim, you or Finn, by Taylor? I like your haircut. I'd like to say you'd say the same. I don't. I think we both got quite cool haircuts for our age. You know.
Yeah, I think I prefer mine on me, and I think mine wouldn't work on you.
Oh yeah.
I think. Yeah, I think they're both right for each other.
Yeah. I do think I'd say we're both quite versatile. Like we both kind of had different haircuts. I'd say, if we're being honest, flat out you had the worst. The barcode at the front was pretty bad.
That was bad.
That was the worst trim. I feel like, to be fair, we're honest enough with each other that like when I had my Eden Hazard trim, that didn't look awful.
You need to accept it. I'm accepting the barcode was awful. You need to accept you looked awful with that hair.
Oh yeah, it wasn't me. It wasn't great, but I mean it in the way of I've got a good enough hairline to kind of rock it.
I remember when you came into Premier and I was on the treadmill and you just walked in and I just was like, "What the fuck is that?"
So we were
trying so hard to defend it, and I was like, "Reese, it looks shit." I was like, "Stop trying to defend it."
No, you didn't say this, mate. You just started laughing for 5 minutes uncontrollably, and I was like, "Finn, it's really not that bad." And you were like, "Mate, it is. It's really bad." But I will say, after 3 weeks, it was a bit short. I got it I had hair not permed, but I had hair similar to this length, quite wavy and stuff, and had the fade. Didn't have the burst fade, but had the fade. And then I went and got literally a fucking 2 on the top, which in hindsight was way too short. After 3 or 4 weeks, I actually thought it looked right. I thought it looked quite cool. I'd probably have a similar trim to that in the future, if I get annoyed with my hair. But I think it was it was definitely a fair bit too short. But I don't remember it legit where I had nothing. I remember it after 4, 5, 6 weeks. But yeah, that was definitely objectively my worst trim. But I think it kind of after a few weeks it looked okay. Where your barcode trim was that was dire.
There was a couple of times where the barcode looked all right. It was the
and a tan.
No, that was when it was worse. Because when I initially got it done, it was all right.
If it was a little bit longer, if it was a little bit longer and you could mess it up a bit, I think that would have looked all right. It was close. It just wasn't great.
I've got some photos where it looked good, but then a lot where it looked awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Most gay foods to eat in bodybuilding?
Banana, vanilla whey. Dipping a banana into vanilla whey.
Banana whey is probably gayer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to say? And, I'm not even against this, but I just think it's a bit gay. Kimchi, sauerkraut, and everyone obsessing over that.
Yeah. I'd say avocado. Yeah.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I like these foods, and I often have had these in my diet. I think kimchi or sauerkraut.
Avocado on sourdough and with salmon. You're bent. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it's a nice meal. That you can't say bent. I've told you this.
Mate, yes, it's the same words. It's the same thing, isn't it? It's not. Okay, so I'm not sorry to any gays. I'm sorry to any people that are bent. Sos.
Right. So I would say salmon avocado on sourdough is a banging meal, though. If that means I'm gay, I don't even care.
Okay. Weetabix, that's a bit gay.
Yeah, if you're having Weetabix cheesecake as meal one,
fully grown adults eating Weetabix, it's bro, you're not cool.
Protein yogurt. Just have yogurt and add whey, or just have whey, or just have yogurt.
Yeah, I agree.
Or protein anything. I'm having protein cereal or protein granola or anything protein. Just eat the normal thing and have whey.
Yeah. What's that? Falafel, whatever that is.
Yeah, does anyone eat that?
Yeah, no. I'm just trying to think of this one individual that I knew that when I wrote her a meal plan, all her foods were so bad, and I was like, "What is this?" Like, it was like the epitome of like white girl TikTok food, and I was like, "This is awful." If you drink matcha, incredibly gay. Martin,
Yeah,
you know Martin from the gym, my client, loves a matcha. I rinse him every check-in for a matcha. Shocking.
yeah, that is gay.
Yeah.
It doesn't even taste nice.
Yeah, have you had one?
I've like tried one, yeah, and it's grim.
Me and Sanaya got literally, we got two different ones like in the summer because it was just for the hype, and like we both, I threw them. We were like, "That's vile." We got one that was like, we said, "What's the most popular?" And they said they have it like this or this. So we're like, "Let's have both." Sip of each. Disgusting.
I don't think anybody actually likes that. I think it's just all for show.
It's like beer, you know, when you're down the pub or like a pint.
No
It's
one
the
likes
same.
beer.
Like you see people like it, so you're like, I must like it. It's like no, that's gay in itself. I'd say actually, you know, having to fit into like social like norms and pressure and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Single most important personality trait to be a good bodybuilder must have to be successful. Right. So no, you can't be a shit bodybuilder, mate. Basically.
Um, I would just say like I would say discipline because that kind of covers everything. Like if you've said you're going to do something and you do it, that takes discipline. Like that takes you could say work ethic, you could say this that, but like I would just say if you set a goal out and you're disciplined to that goal and you actually follow it, then you'll be a good bodybuilder.
I'd say it's not like a word, but I'd say like the ability still to get shit done when things aren't ideal. Because how many guys do we know
Need
that
a
are
word.
like,
Need a
huh?
personality trait. Need a personality trait in one word.
Versatility.
Resilience. That'd be resilience.
Versatility, I'd say versatile. Like, you know, most guys that we know that we've coached, like we've had genetic freaks. The second that like one thing goes out of line, it's like, hey mate, I didn't train, I didn't eat, I didn't sleep, my stress was too high. Like the guys that are just like, yeah man, so I had to do this, but I still got everything done, and I was going for a walk at this time. Where let's be honest, no one wants to do steps at fucking 11 p.m. or train at 6 a.m. or whatever, 5 a.m. But sometimes you just got to make it work, you know. And those actions, those days where like things are against you in your head, just probably get a bit unlucky. That's when, like, in my opinion, the sort of the best bodybuilders are fucking like made, you know, because anybody actually can be perfect for a week, a month, or whatever. But it's like when the crunch time goes and like where the pressure's on, that's when like because let's be honest, in any prep or off season, let's say a prep is 6 months, 5 months, 4 months. Have you ever had 4 months? Anyone listen to this where everything's been perfect? Like there's not been any stress, there's not been any inconsistency, there's not been some family shit that happens or where you've got to train at a different time. Like it happens to us all, you know. So as a result, like being able to deal with that the best way. That's what I'd suggest.
Yeah. If we didn't have to choose one, it would just be like resilience, discipline, consistency. Like if we're looking at like multiple personality traits and words that are,
Also,
if you were to look
yeah.
at our best clients, they would all be resilient. They would all be, very disciplined and their work ethic is very high. Like that, they would be the main things. And none of this is like we've not said anything there about like being genetic freaks. Obviously, if you've got that as well, then fucking great.
I'd also say as well, like it's not again a word, but it's just like don't be a fucking pussy. Like just don't be thinking too much of like what you're doing other than just getting shit done. So like being somewhat relentless, you know, like the best
Yeah, don't
athlete.
like over analytical.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's what I'd be thinking of. So yeah,
Do you typically escalate volume, and how many sets does it usually cap at?
yeah. I think it depends on the individual, depends on the body part. I think it also depends on how strong you are. Like, let's say, for example, like mine and your one set on something, like, is going to be completely different due to loading, due to how we connect with something, all that sort of stuff. So, like, I think again, it really depends. I think these questions are challenging without more context, but like, realistically, do we escalate volume? Yes. When do we? When things feel good. But at the same time, we'll probably know, okay, cool, let's say we're doing push every 5 days. If you add an extra few sets on your pushing movements, and the next chest session you're like, I'm really under recovered, I'm not feeling the best, you're probably doing too much, so back it down. But if you also add it and you're like, oh, I haven't had an issue recovery, my sessions are really good, I'm still getting great pumps, my recovery is where it needs to be, cool, roll with it. And then a few more weeks, if you need to bring that body part up, if you add a few more sets, like don't be afraid of doing too much, but just don't be on the side of like thinking like I wonder like what my max is. You'll know, your body will tell you 100%. If it doesn't tell you, and you're thinking too much of it, you probably can get away more.
Yeah, I think if you were to try and like, based on clients and stuff, if you were to try and put like an arbitrary number on it, you could almost argue like between like 6 and 20 sets a week per body part, and the ones that you need to prioritize more a bit more. But again, it's completely dependent on how well they actually are executing those movements. And,
No, and also the demands of the movement. Like, think
genetic
about
strengths
quads,
are.
you know. You're going to be able to, let's say, for example, let's say both of us probably need to bring up our quads. Could we handle 25 sets of direct quads per week? Absolutely not, with the same quality. But the difference between 10 and 12, we probably could. Like, I think it's really a case of just like the quality against the quantity, prioritizing quality, and then just making sure that you're recovering as well as you possibly can, but while also turning up every session to push yourself, like I said. So, yeah, it's like I said, it's
when people escalate volume and they're doing it like week in, week out, before you know it, like 4 or 5 weeks has gone by and they've added like 8 sets and like, oh, I'm still fine. It's like you're not training that body part accurately enough or hard enough. If you're looking at escalating volume, I would do it like, relatively infrequently. It might be like, okay, I'm going to add a set here and see how that goes for the next few weeks. Oh, cool, fine. I'm going to add another set. Or I'm going to add a rest pause, see how I am for the next couple of weeks. Okay, I'm actually still alright. I'm going to add another set, rather than it just being like having a fucking
It was like the physique collective sort of like approach, from like 2022, where it was like you go close to failure, you add more working sets. Week 5, 10 sets today, shit like that. Like, again, it makes sense for some individuals. I just think for a lot, in the practical sense, it doesn't. And also, one thing you've got to consider, guys, is like, as you go through a phase, ideally you're getting stronger. That results in more volume. You're moving more weight for more reps. Let's say start of the off season. So let's say what Finn's doing now. You're doing more volume than you were doing if you were to do the exact same amount of working sets you did week 1 post show. But you could have added no sets. But because you're stronger, cool. You're now doing more volume.
See it as just set volume instead of like total volume. And like you say, that's going to go up as you get stronger, even as you get better at executing movements with maybe better range of motion or better quality.
Could do more single arm work. That's an effective set as well. You're doing, let's say, a set each side. That's still a set. Like, as much as it's only one side, that's still a set. Like, 4 sets of single arm pull downs and single arm rows, so 2 each, is going to be more than just doing 2 sets of, let's say, 1 set pull down, 1 set row, or with the equivalent.
Or dual arm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so like that's something you've got to consider as well. So if you're doing your back session and let's say a good chunk, 4 to 6 sets is single arm, that's also more demanding than doing a dual arm. It's going to be more time costly as well, and all that sort of thing is going to eat away at your recovery potential. So, yeah.
But yeah, as we've said in the past, like we've gone into that in a lot of detail, but even then, still don't overanalyze it. Like you don't need to be tracking like every single set and being like, oh my god, I added half a set and now I can't recover, or even like stressing so much about like exactly how many sets you're doing per week. It's good to maybe keep an eye on it and know kind of whereabout it's at, but again, the main driver should be like, am I actually progressing? Am I actually recovering? If the answer is yes, cool, you might be able to get away with more, try it. If the answer is no, you might be doing a bit too much. Relating to your hair, well, we've got some more, we might as well, I should have spoken about these before, I didn't see them. First of all, when is Reese going to give up the broccoli hair?
Great. When my hairline tells me to fuck off and I have to go to Turkey. For now, it's holding strong. So, yeah. And
then there's one for me that says, need that hair tutorial.
First? Hey, he clearly thinks you've got the better trim, so go to Alfie. Speaking of Alfie, Finn, I said to him today, Alfie would be a prime candidate for the gayest thing we've done this week, because the amount of stuff he tells me that I'm like, bro, I literally said to him today, I was like, you would be awesome on the podcast because your whole life is just you making gay decisions. And I told him a few. And then
it would be him for an hour.
Yeah, I told him a few examples and he was like, yeah, I'd probably be quite good at
that. He'd be perfect.
Yeah. Like day 1 of signing up with Jacob for the transformation challenge, it's alright if my mum cooks me dinner.
That's good.
Has 75 grams of Peronaise on every meal because he has to. Oh, it's Peronaise. Come on, surely. I need my Peronaise.
He was, when I last went, he was like asking me questions about.
No, he told me that you apparently were like, mate, you're not paying me, you're paying him.
Yeah, I was like, mate, you're not paying me, you're paying Jacob. I was like, I'm not wasting my time giving you information. I was like, cut my hair.
Right. I got a question, mate. Prime Torres, Prime Suarez. So Prime Torres versus Prime Prem Suarez versus Prime Van Persie. He doesn't say rank them 1 to 3, but let's rank them 1 to 3.
Suarez.
It's hard, isn't it?
Suarez, Van Persie, Torres. I think that Van Persie United season was a joke.
If we're talking peak season, I'd agree. If we're talking like over a couple years,
if we're talking one-off moments, if we're talking like just one-off, like what you can do, Suarez, Torres, Van Persie.
Yeah.
If we're talking like a season, Suarez, Van Persie, Torres.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think that's spot on. Like, I feel like we see similar there. I think Van Persie was super underrated technically. Like, he was a joke technically.
So good, mate.
Like,
he was amazing at United that year, but like for probably 5 years before that, he was very good at Arsenal.
Yeah, we had one amazing season when he wasn't injured, and like Arsenal got so lucky to go from like obviously they had Anelka, then they had Henry, but like I was saying, there was a tiny bit of overlap, mistaken. But like Henry into Van Persie, like you've just got like generational striker into generational striker. You know, like to be fair, Liverpool, Torres to Suarez. Oh yeah, Lacazette.
Jesus and Gyökeres.
Lacazette, hell yeah. Fucking now look at them. Kai Havertz. Hell fucking yeah. Yeah, you go.
Favourite clothing brand?
Teveo, Reece 15. Reece 10. Yeah.
Legit, the Teveo stuff is fucking sick.
Teveo is actually really, really good.
It is really, really good. I got a new.
What would you say away from Teveo? Let's say non-gym related. Who would you go for? Well, it can be gym related, but like let's not say like Vanquish or something like that. Like let's say like what would you have?
It would have been Cole Buxton, but I haven't bought anything from Cole Buxton for ages, mate.
Yeah,
I haven't bought. I'll be honest, I haven't bought myself any clothes for ages because I just wear Teveo.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like I legit just wear Teveo stuff. Like I've got Cole Buxton joggers on now, and I've got a Miki Miyuki Zoku t-shirt on, which I do like. That brand is pretty like minimalistic, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would honestly say, mate, I would literally say Zara. If I had to, honestly, if somebody said like, right, you got to wear like one clothing brand for the rest of your life, I'd say Zara because I'll have everything there. Yeah, it's not like branded, but it's good quality. Usually right on trend with what I would want, like design wise, most of the time.
Okay, fair enough. I'd say I think Fear of God for like streetwear is like by a mile the best right now. Like, I think they've like snatched Cole Buxton's sort of like top spot. So yeah, Fear of God. The Eternal stuff is class, like for smart wear, a bit more expensive. Obviously the Essential stuff's cool. The new like NBA range is class. I got like an NBA like New York Nets t-shirt when I was out in America, like really nicely oversized, like big boxy t-shirt. The baseball stuff's really cool. They got like a lot of collabs. They've even got like I've got one. It's like quite like a high-necked Adidas like collab one that I've only worn a few times. Like I'm waiting to get my neck a little bit thinner as I get leaner because it's way too... When I was fat, it was like I could barely fucking fit in it. It was awful. But like yeah, like really, really, I think the Fear of God stuff's class. That's like my go-to.
I feel like all the Fear of God stuff, the neck is a bit tight.
I'd say on some of it, like I think like the boxier tees that they fit perfectly. Usually with Fear of God, the cheaper stuff I find a little bit like lesser quality, and that's usually where you find it. So like the Eternals tees are like 200 a pop and 250, which is expensive for a t-shirt. But like I do think Cole Buxton tees, like they're probably like high single digits or double digits, low triples, you know. So like they are probably double the price, but I do think that they're worth it in regards to like the Eternal tees. I've got 3 of them, and like, I've worn them now for the last like year, and they look brand new. You know, so that's a good thing about expensive clothes. I will say, like you can wear them for a good amount of time. You buy like a cheap fucking Gymshark t-shirt back in the day, like you wash it 4 times and it's half the size, or you've got rips in it because it's not the best quality. So yeah.
On that note, Josh Croggan asked, "Are Teveo taking us to the Arnolds?" I think he means FIBO.
Yeah.
We're going to the Arnolds anyway, Josh, because it's in UK. FIBO, we've still not heard back, have we?
No. So Sanaya messaged them. Do you know that?
A while ago. Yeah, Sanaya spoke to me about it.
Yeah. And apparently they're waiting to see. I'm not too sure. Like all I know is from, and again, it's hopefully they don't mind disclosing this, on the call that we had with Nicole and the blonde woman, they told us that we were going. So
and the blonde woman that we can't remember her name.
Yeah, I can't. Sorry, boss lady. Please don't.
Well, thank you, and please.
Yeah,
please.
You told us directly on that call. Me and Tim were sat there on the call with you, saying you were going to FIBO. So I'm turning up at the airport on the Thursday morning.
I'm buying my flights and I'm invoicing them.
Yeah, I've already decided to do it, okay? Because you said to me 4 months ago, I'm going to FIBO, okay? So I'm there, I've booked the time
I've
off.
been counting down the days on my whiteboard and crossing them out.
Legit. So yeah, I'm not too sure. Like, I'd like to go because I think it'd be cool. Not been before.
I want to go, yeah. I
But
really
I'm
want to
also
go.
not going to be heartbroken if we don't go. But it would be very cool because the Rome trip was sick. That was really good fun. And Germany for bodybuilding sick. And there's a lot of, like I said, on the last podcast, there's a lot of really good amateurs that I know are doing it, which I'm interested for. Obviously, Eagles are doing it. I don't know who else is doing it, but it will be a fucking good pro show and it'll be a cool expo. So yeah,
It will be good.
yeah.
Right, final few.
Sure.
What's the straightest thing you've done this week?
Oh,
From Sunny, my client. Good shout, mate. I've got one that wasn't this week, but was really good, right? So, my car needed the screen wash filling up, right?
mhm.
So, put the bonnet up, filled the screen wash up. Already, this is pretty manly, yeah? Put the bonnet down,
Yeah.
didn't close. I was like, it's weird. So I like tried to slam it a few times. It wasn't working. I was like, fuck. This is when I was at Megan's house, right? And I needed to drive back that same day. It was when you were away, and Julie was covering for us, yeah. So obviously
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, I need to get back soon. Um, so basically went back in the house, Googled like Ford Mustang not closing, bonnet not closing. Found a video of like this mate. It must have been like a 40-year-old video. This guy with an old Ford, like showing what to do, and he was like, "So you need like some WD-40, and you need a flathead screwdriver to like get rid of the grime and stuff, because it's basically where the latch isn't catching back in. It's not re-springing back in."
Mhm.
Meg doesn't have either of those, yeah, and she's busy anyway. She's at work, like on calls. Another thumbs up. So I've thought, right, what have I got here? So I've looked in a cupboard, and there's some like some furniture polish. And I'm like, right, that's like kind of the same.
Yeah.
And I got a knife, right? So I've gone
Mm.
outside with knife and furniture polish, and I've sprayed the fuck out of this like joint thing, this like spring. I've smashed it up with this knife.
Yeah.
Perfect, sorted. I was like, I'm such a fucking bloke. I was like,
Yeah.
and I went in and fucked Meg.
Great. Hey, come here now. Fucking
She was
pause.
mid call with her normal job, really important. And I just grabbed her and threw her around.
Okay, no, fair enough. Mine's actually similar to the latter. Sanaya was giving me a bit of fucking jip yesterday. I just grabbed her by the throat and like literally like almost picked her up slightly. And like I did it to the point where she had like not tears in her eyes, she didn't cry, but like it jolted her and her eyes watered. And I was like, fucking watch out, yeah? And just walked off. And she was like, the fuck are you doing? 'Cause I have never laid a finger on
That's not the
something.
straightest thing that you need locking up.
Yeah, and no. She was like pushing me, slapping me, like kicking me, and I was just like, you know what? Like Sanaya beats me up constantly. I'm gonna show her just a bit of my strength. I just went bang, and she just went, oh, she like jolted, and I was like, literally looked at her, I was like, yeah, you fucking watch out, and just walked out the room, and
You're
like,
in a horrible abusive relationship.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah, exactly. Sanaya is filing the divorce papers as we speak.
Yeah.
She's only waiting to marry me, so then she can just take everything, you know.
Yeah. It's like
That's
with Josh
all it is.
Duggan, like as soon as you get engaged, everything goes to shit.
Yeah, literally, mate. Yeah, like that's that. So yeah. Right. Mate, you into Pokemon? Do you know Pokemon?
Nope.
So if I said top three Pokemon of all time, do you know any Pokemon?
Pikachu, Pikachu, a salamander,
Do you know what that is?
Snorlax.
Gengar, that's Snorlax. Charizard?
Mate, the fact I've named three is salamander one.
No. Salamence is one. You're thinking Salamander's like you're probably thinking of like one of the like Charizard for like Charmeleon. What's he begin with? I can't remember. My brain's not working. Yeah, Salamander might. No, Salamence is a dragon in Gen 3.
Quite well
Yeah, no. Did you not play like Pokemon when you were younger then?
there. No,
Did
I
you
had
got Yu-Gi-Oh
friends.
cards or anything like that?
Yeah, I did, but like
Oh, so you're not.
very
Okay.
very short period of time. Yu-Gi-Oh and
Remember,
Pokemon cards for like 6 months, I
do
think
you
it
remember
was.
any Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
No,
Okay.
I remember like loving it though for a short period of time.
Yeah. Okay. You use match stacks and stuff or nothing like that? Yeah.
A bit, yeah, match tax. Then it was just
What
like
was your best match stack card?
I don't know.
I remember there was like a 101 Steven Gerrard, like a black edition version. It was like a year or two into they started doing them properly. That was quite cool. was like a Ronaldo one as well, which was quite cool. So yeah, right. That's my question done, mate.
All right, last one, and then we'll wrap it up there. Worst post-show binge / weight gain you've ever seen?
Ooh.
Maybe don't name names if we don't have to.
Yeah. I know. You know what? I know he'll like a mention. It's not a post show. Actually, maybe it was. He's better now. He's prepping himself. And I coached him for a few years. Love the lad to bits. Finley Roberts. I'd like to say he's got better. And as well, like Finley, objectively, is a fucking wicked bodybuilder. It's just he's always suffered with his head in a prep, which is a bit shit because he could be so much better. But I think he will eventually kind of crack the code. I know he's doing it himself this year. And like, I actually do hope, because I really like Finley as a person. As an athlete, he's not the best, but I think he can get better with just him being on his own and not probably relying upon other like coaches and stuff. But I remember with Finley, he started prep at like 102 kilos. His weight 2 or 3 days post show was 106 kilos. So over a 14-week prep, and he managed to gain like 3 or 4 kilos, which is just goes to show. Like, and to be fair, he stepped on stage at like high 90s and actually looked really good. That just goes to show how genetically blessed he was, because he was on stage in like 2024 at like 2023. He stepped on stage at like 82, 83. So he like recomped while prepping because he was going off plan, and then obviously ate a lot of food afterwards. So he got over a 12, 13, 14 week phase, he managed to be in a calorie surplus, even though it's supposed to be a prep, because he gained weight, which is impressive. Like, that's genuinely quite impressive. So I'd probably say that. But yeah, like the thing is like Finley would be awful in the prep, but like afterwards he'd still eat shit. But like, he's got a good enough frame. He also was never that heavy. Like, it was like, he's not somebody, who's up like 30 kilos and you're like, okay, this is fucked. He'd be like up 10, 15 in the first couple of months, and then he'd be like, oh, I'm still pretty lean, I feel alright. So like that was more so in the prep, not after.
I don't think I've had any clients where I've been like, oh my god, like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? I've had some where I'm like, okay, mate, like, you've gained a bit too much, but not like excessive. But I've seen some people online where it's like 2 weeks post show, you've not seen from them, and then they come on a story and it's like, oh my god, who is that? Like, but
There
not.
was, I've said this story before, but there was a guy at a Team Evo meet. I've said this, you remember this probably. And
Yeah.
he's a trainer at Ultraflex Rotherham. And he came up to me at this, so he was coached by Tom. And he spoke to me, and he was speaking to me super, like he knew me. And I had to say to Tom, I was like, Tom, who's this dude? And he told me his name, and I was like, oh my God, I haven't seen him since he was like 3 weeks out. I was like, how much is he up? And he was like, oh, like 65, 70 pounds in like genuinely 3 weeks or 4 weeks. And I was like, how's that possible? And he was like, I honestly don't know. Like, he's eating off plan every day for like most meals, and like, yeah, consecutively. Which, like, I do think to myself, like, it's scary because it's easily doable. But it's
Yeah.
like, surely, like, as much as the first few days, I get that people can go, I've deserved this, I dieted for so long, I'm going to enjoy some food. But like, after any day that I've got finished a prep, I'll go out for a meal, and the next day I'm like, I kind of feel satiated mentally. Yeah, like, I crave, and we crave that, like, okay, cool, I've had a bit of shit. I now want to just get back to eating a bit more clean. And like, I do find it backwards. But again, it is unfortunate. Like, I think people go, like, bodybuilding gave me an eating disorder. If you're 20 pounds up after a few weeks, that's not an eating disorder. That's just probably a not amazingly handled post-show period. If you're 70 pounds up after 3 weeks, that's an eating disorder. That's like the extremities of it. So yeah, like, to be fair, obviously for naturals, it's probably a little bit harder because you're slightly smaller. Hormones aren't like super ramped up. The body's a lot more run down. I do think within enhanced bodybuilding, it's a lot worse. And as well, like, enhanced bodybuilding, it's the more extremities of higher food. So you naturally will pick up the, like, certain food issues, like, in my opinion, especially like then, let's say, when it comes to your body being super responsive and sensitive. When you've got like no test, you can put on some body fat, but you're not going to hold too much water. Like, your body's just going to go, yeah, it is what it is, But yeah, I'd say.
I think for anyone, but especially for naturals, like, it is just a case of being patient post show.
Yeah.
Like, don't, obviously, still gain weight and get your food higher, but like, don't be expecting to recover straight away or look or feel as big as you did when you were, on the way down initially. Like, yeah, it does take time. You got to just be patient and let that hormonal recovery occur. and give it a good, few weeks, few months, and before you know it, it's like, oh fuck, I feel big and strong again and feel really good. But it does take some time. No matter how much food and shit you eat, like, it's not just gaining the body fat that's going to get you recovered quickly. It's gaining the body fat over time and holding that new level of body fat and being on higher food over time. That is what
And
you
as
need.
well, like, a lot of it is going to be the mental state of things. Like, let's be honest, like, you in Vegas looked horrendous, but then you like recomped afterwards. So like, if you weren't like, let's say for example, if someone hadn't seen you and they saw you in Vegas 3 weeks, 4 weeks post show, they would be like, what the fuck has happened to you? Why you still, like, your face looks fucking puffy but skinny. You're so soft and watery. But then 3 or 4 weeks later, it's like, okay, cool, I look alright. Like, the more muscle you have as well, like, when you see like people put on good amounts of weight, like I ran a rebound, I still didn't look that fat. My face did, but like I didn't look awful. I still had abs, I still had a midsection. Like, I think people could look at that and think, oh, that's cool, I could do that. It's like, oh yeah, but you'd also have the muscle. If you're a female, like, every female most likely gains 5 to 10 pounds, and they're like, I look awful. Sanaya, after every prep she finished, like 2 weeks after, she looked at herself and she was like, I hate how I look. And I was like, yeah, but give it 2 months, and you'll be like,
that's the thing with most people. Even if you manage to do so well, because you've been so used to being so lean for so long and seeing yourself in stage condition, you're not going to like how you look, even if you nail post show.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think like the best athletes, as we kind of spoke about earlier, the best athletes are also the ones that deal with the post show the best. Like, I think Adam Powell's reel was quite good that he posted a couple weeks back or whatever, maybe a couple months, and it was like, there's no brownie points for staying lean post show, because there isn't. But there's this element to it where you also don't want to be a band. Like, there is a standard of like maintaining good enough condition so you're still responsive, but gaining a good amount of weight so you can get training and everything in a better spot. Like, I'd always say to people, and kind of when you coach them, but everyone has a sweet point where their bodies just work quite well. So for you, I'd say like right now, you're probably maybe 2-3 kilos less than where your body's probably going to be firing on all cylinders. So if you finish prep at 76 kilos or whatever, cool, get back to mid-80s pretty soon, and then just hold and slow it down. Like there's. But if you were to get to 85 and then get to 92 with the same rate of gain that you did, because you're like, well, I put on 7 kilos in 6 weeks, so the next 7 kilos can come on in the next 8 weeks. Like, no, that's when it slows down. So I always think, like, get back to that spot post show where your body is probably not at peak body weight. It's also not at, let's say, all-time low, that midpoint where things feel good, training's really good, and then just gradually go from there. But like, how you get there doesn't really matter, because you're probably going to put body fat on anyway. But there's a big sign of like just remembering that 1 or 2 meals won't fuck things, 1 or 2 days won't fuck things, but those habits can potentially lead into worse habits, and as a result, you're chasing your tail in off season, which is not really good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wrap it up there.
Sound right. Hope everyone enjoyed. Monday. Any shows this weekend? Is there? No.
I don't know. Hopefully.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
We'll have a look.
Yeah, and then obviously the following week will be the Arnold's review, the UK Arnold's, which will be really cool.
That'll be good.
Yeah, so obviously I know Martin's doing that. It's Martin v Andrew by the looks of things in open, which will be mega. Obviously Mike and Wesley, which I think will be really cool to see in person. Yeah, which will be really, really good. And I will say as well, I don't know, me and Finn aren't friends anymore. Last time I went to the Arnold, we walked around together. We're probably not, because me and Finn don't get on. But if you do see
I'm not
me
going to the expo, mate. I'm just going to the show in the evening.
Fairs? Celebrity?
I'm not bothered about the expo.
Okay, fair enough. Well, either way, if people see us at the Arnold's, please come up to us, smile, say funny joke. Yeah, say you're a big fan of the podcast.
Tell us what the biggest thing you've done that week is.
Everyone who sees us at the Arnold's who listens to this, you have to say nothing, not a hi Reese or hi Finn, just say, I randomly sucked a dick. Is that the gayest thing I've done this week? You're like, yeah, that is actually gay, bro. Like, that's actually a bit weird. And then I'm going to probably run and scream security.
I just sucked Andrew Jack off in the toilet. is that gay?
Is that gay, Reese? Nah, it's Andrew Jack. It's not good. So yeah, but otherwise, hope everyone's enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.